Okay. Okay. Great to know about you guys. Yeah. So today we'll get started with some seminar on A/B testing. With high level overview, we will understand. Okay, what does A/B testing do? How it is going to helpful to us in the industry? Okay, what is the benefit that we are going to get with it? Okay, so overall, what are the different tools, course content? So everything at high level, what we have to know as part of automation, AP automation testing, we will try to understand. Okay, so that you will get the big picture from this session. But in detail, we can go ahead with the detailed course content. Okay, so that's what our target is for specific to this today's seminar. Okay. All right. Hmm. First of all, let's get started with so we wanted to do API testing, right? API test. Okay, so that's what our goal is. Okay, but to do this API testing, first of all, we should know what is API, right? So anybody knows what is an API? Anybody from this group?
Application programming interface.
Okay, other than abbreviation. So can you tell what it does? What is API basically? No idea. How about others? Maybe others also can tell if you know what is an API. Load stress testing done. What is this? Okay, no problem. All right. So I will explain. So how many of you guys are using some applications or online to purchase a tickets? Either it can be a flight ticket or train ticket. Anybody of you are using it? Nobody? Okay, let's say you wanted to travel from your city to your native or hometown, whatever it is, or one city to another city. So how do you travel?
By booking a ticket in one of the application like Redbus or Abibus.
Red bus, Abi bus, maybe IRCTC if it is a train, or if it is a flight, you book through multiple flight applications, right? So just assume what is that we were doing before these applications. So we there were some vendors, right, who can sell the tickets for those bus trains and all. We go there and we pay the fee, ticket, whatever the ticket. Then they will be giving the hard copy, ticket hard copy, right? So that's what we show when we onboard into the bus or train or whatever it is, right? So that was olden days, but nowadays there are multiple applications, right? Through the application online, through mobile or through your web page, website, or through laptop, we can book a ticket and we can commute, right? So it's very easy. Booking nowadays is very easy. So the booking will be confirmed. So we will be getting an confirmation message or email of the ticket, so that we are safe. Like, we are confident that yes, our ticket is booked. We can easily travel without any problem, right? So how the booking happens is through API only, right? So API acts as a mediator between the server where it is application is running and the client. Client can be like our mobile or our laptop, can be a client. Server means the application which is running, right? As you said, Abibus, Redbus, or any bus, IRCTC, or any flight related application, anything, right? So the application will be running somewhere. So that's what. So we have to know right? So let me draw the diagram how it will be so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. Okay, so as you said, let's say you wanted to book a ticket. Okay, so what we will do, we will go to something called Redbus. Okay, just assume this is redbus.in. So you go and just type www.redbus.in. So what happens? The request goes to the server, and server will tell, hey, these are the list of buses available from Hyderabad to Bangalore, Hyderabad to, let's say, Vijayawada, something, whatever the destination, source and destination is. Okay, so that's what. But how does Redbus get the data? Does Redbus have any buses of their own? Are they running any buses? Anybody knows? So if you go to Redbus, what are the different travels that we can see? Can you guys list some of the travels what we can see usually? Come on, guys. I want this to be interactive, right?
Orange Travels, Mozo Travels,
Correct. Orange Travels, Mojo. Yes. What
even
else?
APS RTC buses also available.
Right. Orange, Mojo, APSRTC. Okay. RTSRTC. Right. So we say VRL, SRS, and so many. So there are many travels are there, right? So what this what this Redbus do is Redbus will have a contract with the other travels. Okay, so let's say Orange Travels is another. Just assume Orange Travels is the bus that you wanted to book. So what happens is Orange Travels will be having something called as they will be having some application. Okay, so this is what we call it as Orange API, right? Orange Travels API, and we have something called as running in the background, which we can call it as Orange. Okay, so this is Orange backend, right? So I will tell you in some time what is backend. So backend is something where the logic will be developed or defined. Okay, so this is the Orange database. So Orange Travels has their own backend application running, right? So this is the database of Orange Tours and Travels, right? Orange SSDB. Okay, so this is how it is, right? So, and one more thing, we can book Orange Bus from the Orange own website also, right? Even Orange has their own website or their own mobile apps, right? So whenever you type www.orange bus something, I don't know exactly what they might be named. See if you go to Orange Travels, see orangetravels.in. Orangetravels.in is the domain that they maintain, right? So orangetravels.in. So this is their website. Same way they have their mobile apps also, right? So we can either book the orange bus either from the red bus. So whenever you book from red bus, so red bus send a request to orange API, right? Then orange API will understand what red bus wants, and the same request will be sent to this one, Orange backend. So Orange backend will understand the request came from Orange API, and then the same request will be sent to database. So database will have the data, right? So whenever we search from Redbus, say Hey, red bus, I want the list of buses available from Hyderabad to Bangalore for today or tomorrow or whatever the date we select, right? So the request goes from red bus to orange, then orange to orange backend to orange database. So database will respond back to backend and that same data will be sent back to red bus. So that's how we see, right? So if you go to redbus.in. So I'll go Hyderabad to Bangalore, let's say today's date, search bus. See, whenever I said there are a lot of buses are there, right? So TSRTC, Karnataka RTC is there, KSM, VSR. See, there are a lot of buses. So let me search orange is there or not. Maybe orange is not there. It's like here. Or any bus, right? So we can pick any bus. See, Intercity is there, Jabbar is there, November Travels, GP Travels. So there are a lot of bus travels are available. So same as like orange, right? So we get the data from database to backend to API to redbus.in. So same way, okay. So like however we are checking from redbus. So same way there will be another bus also. Let's say orange tours and travels also we can book a bus. So same way like we have Paytm also, right? You guys know, right? So Paytm is another application where we can book our bus ticket as well, right? So we can book it from here also, right? So paytm.com. So like that n number of applications can be linked to orange api. So from orange api, orange backend will be there. So that will process, take the data and it will send the data in the required format to us. So that is what it is going to do. So that's the reason, as I said, api is an person, right? Right, which is between the client and the server. So backend is the server. Okay, API is in mid person, right? So what he will do, he will take the request, send the request to backend or server. So from the server, whatever the server gives the data, that data will be taken back and sent to redbus.com, in or Paytm or Orange Travels or any other vendors. So how are, so data will be transferred between one place to another place via API, through API. Okay, so API is very important and very critical. Okay, so not only this travels website. So can you guys list me, tell me some set of apps which you are using daily, any mobile applications?
Book my show,
Book my show. Okay.
Paytm. In Paytm, we can book
Paytm, not only about booking, anything. See, every day in, day out, right? You will be using some apps, mobile apps or web applications or any software application, right?
Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra.
Sorry,
Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra.
Amazon, Flipkart,
Flipkart, Myntra,
Myntra,
Zomato, Swiggy.
Zomato, etc. Right? So there are a lot of applications, right? So even now you guys connected through some Zoom. Zoom is also a software, right? So almost every softwares will transfer the data via API only. Okay, so you are using app WhatsApp. So you will send a message to your friend. So that message will be sent. That message will be sent to the other person via API only. Okay, so that is what we can do. That's how it is internally going to happen. Okay, so every software will transform the data or transfer the data using API only. Okay, let's say this is your mobile. So you send a message. So that message will be sent via API to the another, let's say one of your other friend, for example, right? So that whatever the message you are sending, that should transfer. To transfer, the channel that we have is API. So through APIs, the data will be transferred between multiple missions or multiple people, right? So that is what the meaning of API, how the API is going to work basically. Okay, so now we understood what is API. Okay, so now what is API testing? So why do we need to test API? Is it really required to test? Yes, it is required. Okay, so what is the benefit that if we are going to get by doing API testing? Okay, so I explained you the data will transfer between the multiple systems or multiple applications or multiple people via API. So that part we understood. So how the data will be sent? So data will be sent in the form of a JSON object. Okay, JSON object. So how the JSON object will be there and all stuff we will understand in detail. Okay, so for now, just understand the data will be transferred in the form of JSON. Okay, now coming back to the question, do we need to do the API testing? Yes, we have to do. So we are doing functional testing, right? Anyway, without functional testing, we are not going to release any product or any software or any application via API testing. Right? But why do we need to do the API testing? Okay, so APIs means the backend testing. So whenever I search, right, the bus available between one Hyderabad to Bangalore for this date, so it is listing some set of buses. Okay, so now let's say I pick one particular bus called November Travels. Okay, so I am seeing some data. What is the start time? Where it starts, Gachibowli, where it ends, some area called Marthahalli, right? So what is the end time? When it is going to end? Totally how many hours? What are the benefits that the bus is going to give? Whether it is AC, non-AC, sleeper, semi-sleeper. Okay, so what other benefits like we have pillow, we have CCTV, we have emergency contact. So there are some set of benefits like water bottle, ticket, blankets, bed sheet. So lot of things that they are going to the bus is going to give as part of amenities. Okay, so if you go to bus photos, we can see the photos of the bus. See, this is the bus photos. Boarding and dropping points, including the timing. See, Hyderabad timing they are giving, dropping point, Bangalore dropping points they are giving. So how is the reviews for the bus they have given? Okay. So booking policies that they have given. If you cancel, how much amount? So this complete data, how we are getting to Red Bus. Okay, from the November travels. That is through API. They are sending the data. Redbus will receive the data, and that Redbus will show the data in this colorful manner in a structured. See the cancellation time, charges in a tabular format they are showing. But are we getting the table? No, we will get the data in the form of JSON. Okay, so this complete info I got to Redbus through the API. So we will show it. Okay, before integrating to UI, that means the web page or maybe the mobile. Okay, so we have to test. Okay, is this the data that they are sending? Is this the data that we are receiving? That is what we are going to do as part of API testing. So no UI, no UI. Okay, no UI in API testing. Okay, so we are going to test only the data. So whatever the data transfers between two systems or two applications or two missions or two devices, that data we are going to test. Okay, so that is very much important. Why it is important? Can't we directly put it on the UI and test it? We can also do that. Better to always find out the defects or bugs which is available as part of development as early as possible, right? So we will develop the APIs first of all, and that APIs will be integrated to UI later point of the time. Okay, so usually, so if you go, anybody of you know about test pyramid? Anybody knows about test pyramid, guys? Say yes, no, don't know.
No, don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, no problem. All right. So see, if you look at this diagram, see, this is what we call it as test pyramid generally, right? So this test pyramid, some of the most of the companies will be measuring, okay, like how many tests I have unit level, how many in API level, how many automated level, and then how many manual. That means always manual test should be less, automated test should be more, and API test should be more than that, and unit test should be more than that. Why? What is the reason? Means we as more unit tests we have, that means we can find the bugs in the early stage of development, so that fixing any bug in the early stage of development will be easy. Once the product went to production, okay, and fixing by identifying any bug at that point of time will be very difficult, okay, because it costs more. So that's the reason, okay, every companies has a measurement that unit test should be more, and then AP test, and then automated test, UI test, and then manual test. Always manual test should be countless. Okay, then automated test, then API test, then unit test. That's how. So it is lower the upper. Okay, see, fixing any bugs at unit test level is very fast. See, that's what they mentioned, faster, slower. Okay, this is solid, brittle, right? So as per test pyramid standards, we have to do more unit tests, we have to write more API tests. So that's the reason API testing is very important nowadays. Lot of companies are doing API testing along with the functional testing, right? And also, as you guys know, you can see lot of interviewers, lot of job description, only Selenium or only functional testing nobody is asking. Nowadays they are asking some combination, functional testing with performance, functional testing with mobile, or functional with A/B testing, something like that. Because that's how the market expectation is right now. Okay, just with one particular tool knowledge, we cannot survive in the market. So always, as we have more knowledge, more tools that we know, yes, it will be easy for us to survive in the market, to get paid more, and even it will be good for us, right? So as you keep learning more, it will be benefit for you, right? So keep it in mind, keep learning more new things always. Okay, yes, coming back to the question, yes, AP testing plays a major critical role in the software development life cycle, because as I said, if you find out bugs at the API level only, it will be easy. So number of bugs at functional level will be reduced. Okay, so that's the reason AP testing is very important for us. Okay, so that's about it. So as I said, no UI. So we are going to test only the backend data, backend APIs through the API testing. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, then next, let's understand. Second, guys. Okay, yeah. So as I said, like we will be sending the data through JSON. So not only JSON, there are other ways that we can send the data. Okay, so we can send the data, we can receive the data in the multiple ways, right? Let me list how do we transfer the data. Okay, so we are going to transfer the data in multiple ways. HTML is one way, XML is another way, text is another way, JSON is another way, right? So we can send the data in the form of HTML, in the form of XML, in the form of text, in the form of JSON. So these are the different ways that we can send the data across multiple missions or multiple platforms. Okay, so now why do we need to pick the JSON? Okay, so we said we understood clearly JSON is the one which we are going to use. Why? Why not HTML? Why not XML? Why not text? And so on, right? So because JSON supports multiple programming languages. Okay, so that means if you write your application, right? Develop your application in Ruby, okay, and you wanted to send to Python application. For example, if I go back, just assume redbus.in, they have developed this application using a programming language called Java. Okay, so they are using Java. Just assume they are using Java. Okay. Orange Travels, they have used some, something called PHP. Just assume they developed based on PHP, right? And then coming to Paytm, they are using Python. They are using Python. So that means all different applications has been developed in different programming languages. Okay, so assume this backend, orange backend is again in PHP. Just assume. Okay, so backend is in one language. Okay, Paytm is built based on some another language. Redbus.in they are using some other language. So whatever the language, the different applications are, but still we can use something called as JSON. Okay, so JSON is a common structure which is supported by any of these languages, right? So we are going to send the data in the form of JSON. That JSON will be supported by Java, by PHP, by Python, or any other languages like Ruby. So it supports Ruby also. Okay, so that's the reason nowadays API testing, that to JSON. So we are going to work something called as REST API. See, we are going to understand or learn about a tool called REST Assured, right? REST Assured, right? So what is REST Assured? REST Assured means qualifying, right? That means we are giving some assurance. For what? For REST. What is REST? REST is another API. Okay, REST is a API. So there are different APIs. So REST is one of the API. Okay, so REST is nothing but representational. Okay, representational state transfer. So this is a full form of REST. That means we wanted to transfer the data using REST. Okay, REST in the sense internally REST use JSON. How the JSON looks like, I will explain by taking some example. Okay, so let's say I'll take some sample info. Okay, sample data I'm taking, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take some data like this. Let's say first name. Let's say first name is equal to, let me take my info. Okay, Lohansh. Okay, last name. Okay, right, age 50, mobile 9999. Okay, so in the same way, landline 0409999 something, some number. Okay, then address, door number 213, Kukatpalli. So this is some info, so sample data that I have taken. So I will tell you how does this sample data will be stored into REST, which is nothing but the JSON object, and how that JSON object will be transferred between this application to this, or this to this, or this to this, whatever it is. So that means this is a web application, this is an API. So we are going to send the data in the form of JSON. I am going to tell you how does this JSON looks like by taking this as a sample data. Okay, so let us see, guys, how do we convert this data into a JSON object, right? So first of all, what we have to do is, for any JSON object, okay, we just write open and close these curly braces. Okay, then the first data point that we have is first name is equal to Lohansh. So copy that, paste it here. So first name is something like a key for me. So I will place that inside a double quote, and then I will add a colon in between. and the value is Lohansh. So that value I'm going to put it in a double quotes. See, however, I have taken what I'm going to put it. This is something like a key, and this is a value for that key. Okay, so insert a comma. Then I'll take the next data point, last name is equal to k. So k I have, so I put it within the double quotes, insert a colon, and then within double quotes. So this is the way how do we convert the data into JSON. So this JSON object we will be using to transfer or send between the one application to another application, right? So in the same way, let me take all other data points. Age also I'm going to convert. So age is just a number. I don't put it in double quotations, just add a comma. Instead of equal, let me add colon. And age is the key. So let me add the key in within the double quotations. Okay. So 3 data points, I put it in the JSON. So next one is mobile land. So mobile is there, land is there, right? So let me take, what I can do is probably I can create, these are my contact numbers, right? So I can just say within double quotations, contact number, colon. So I'll put it inside an array. Okay, so I'll take an array. So usually how do we write array? Array with square brackets. And within square bracket, I'll take a curly brace again here. So I'll just add key here and then value here. Okay. So the first key is mobile. Okay. So like this, I'm going to store. The value for mobile is 9999 something. So I put it over here. So this is one object. So I'll take one more object again like this, because for to store the landline, right? So I'll take this. Okay, so landline is the key and this is the value. So I have two contact numbers, right? One is mobile and another one is landline. So both of them I'm storing inside a array. And then the last one that I have is address. So address is only one value. So I can put it over here. So I'll put it within the double quotations. Here. Double quotations, add a colon and address, I'll put it here. Okay, so in this way, what did I do? I try to convert all these data points in the form of JSON object. Okay, so this is the first name, comma, last name, comma, age, comma, contact. Next to contact info, we have address, right? So let's add a comma here. Okay, then that's it. See how simple it is. See, anybody can convert the data in the form of JSON. Okay, so converting the data into JSON is very simple, right? So, but only thing is we have to understand. See, all these are independent items, so we put it with comma, comma. So, but there are two numbers, two contact numbers, right? One is for mobile and then the another one is landline. So, mobile, landline, both for that, I just created some key called contact number, and inside that within an array, two different array objects, JSON objects I created. First JSON object contains mobile number, second JSON object contains landline. That's it. Add a comma and then finally address. So by looking at this JSON, anybody can understand, okay, this JSON contains some data like first name, last name, age, contact info, and then address. Right? See how simple the data can be transferred to JSON object. Okay, so that this JSON object will be will be sent from one person to another person. Okay, or one system to other system, right? So that is about how do we convert a data to JSON. Okay, so using JSON, by using JSON, we have multiple benefits. Okay, see what are those benefits? Let's see. So JSON is self-descriptive, right? Self-describing, right? Easy to understand. By looking at this JSON, anybody can understand the purpose of this JSON. Okay, and JSON is lightweight. Okay, and as I said, it's a language independent, right? So if you developed something using Java, yes, you send the data in the form of JSON, so that will be consumed by PHP application or Python application or any other language. Okay, so that is the benefit. So going forward, we will see in detail. Okay, what other benefits? How do we define JSON? Understanding about the JSON in detail. Okay, so now let me summarize what are all the different topics that we are going to discuss, right? So as I have already, I hope you guys have gone through the course content. So we will, first of all, we'll start with manual testing of API. Okay, before we start automating, we have to know manually how do we test an API, and then how do we automate API, and then we will try to apply whatever we understood manual and automation on a real-time project. Okay, so as part of that, we will get started with manual testing. So we already discussed something like what is API, what is REST API, what is JSON. Okay, so and then we'll start installing some Postman tool, do our manual testing of API. Okay, understand more, dig more in details about the JSON. Okay, and there are some protocols, so we'll understand about that protocols. Finally, once we are proficient with manual testing, then we will get started with automation using rest assured, how to install, start working. So in detailed concept of rest assured. Okay, and then finally we will get started with understanding some other concepts like pojos and all, and another plugins. Finally, we will start developing a framework. Okay, so as part of framework, we'll create a pojos. We will have a framework related concepts like developing a reusable method structure. We will integrate with the different tools like Maven, Jenkins, and all that stuff. Bitbucket, and then we will execute. So we'll pick one application. We will try to automate for that application APIs, and slowly we will integrate all the tools. That's how we are going to build our API skills. Okay, so that's what we are going to do as part of this course. So any questions, guys, from anybody so far?
What kind of projects you can do it here? Sir? Oh,
Okay, we will pick one real-time project. So where we have APIs available. Okay, so we will try to test all the available API methods like get, put, post, delete, everything.
okay. So with this experience, how many years experience I can put it take?
Can you be a little bit louder? Your voice is low.
Sir, once completing,
Sorry, once completing. Hey, Shido, I cannot hear you. Okay, any other questions from others, guys?
No, I'm clear.
Shinu, are you back? Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So there is a new batch starting tomorrow. So if anybody of you are interested, you can join tomorrow at 7 p.m. Okay. So 7 to 8 p.m. daily will be having classes. And hope you will get all the recording sessions and documents, diagrams, everything with respect to API testing so that you guys can refer and practice after starting with your whenever you practice going to your home also. Okay, any other questions, guys?
How many days it will be?
It is totally 45 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So Saturday, Sunday will not be having classes, only weekdays will be having the classes, guys. Okay, all right. Thank you for everyone for joining this session. So tomorrow we'll get started with the detailed topics.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks. Thanks, Ravi.